Hi Scorpio, this is Wishko the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den. We're keeping things warm here. We're keeping things cozy. Today we have a reading for you for May 22nd to May 28th. So, as always, drop into your heart space. Let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. And I would like to say, of course, thank you to Archangel Michael for grounding me, and thank you to my spirit guides and my angel team for helping me connect with the Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, or whoever happens to be attracted and called to the Scorpio energy at this time. All right, so let's see what's going on for you this week. Hello. Wow. So, I usually pull 5 oracle cards, but you and Cancer have gotten 6 cards that wanted to come out, and who am I to say no? So, you have the 10 of Cups here. So, no, Spirit's telling me to look at the spread. Hang on. Before I dive in, Spirit's saying, look at the spread. Okay. I said the 10 of Pentacles, but it's actually the 10 of Cups. Maybe that's what they meant. Look at the spread. And I was like, what? So it's actually the 10 of Cups. What? So this could be searching for emotional fulfillment right now. This could be searching for, I don't know if you can see that. This is searching for some type of emotional fulfillment. There are opportunities to experience that this week. And I do find, I'm feeling that perhaps your soul could be called to experiences that fill up the heart this week. This could be in the form of, I don't know, romantic adventures. This could be in the form of family, hanging out with a really cool and really close friend. Whatever it is that fills up your cup, that's kind of what Spirit is, like, you know, wanting you to do this week, is to connect through the heart and really feel that sense of community and that sense of partnership. You have the 8 of Pentacles here. So whatever it is that you're working on, it's consistent hard work and effort. It is very stable. It is very reliable. So I do see you just continually working on whatever it is that you're doing. Having the energy, having the skill set, you're really able to tackle it in a very skillful way. People trust you to do this work. And it's really just remembering that, you know, I just heard that, like, remember that you're an enlightened being. And you have the capacity to deal with whatever challenges are coming your way. This is in the form of work. This could be in the form of whatever creative endeavors that you are pursuing. It is kind of coming through a little bit creatively, just because this deck with the 8 of Pentacles, like, you know, we have a painter here, and typically with the 8 of Pentacles, it does feel very like, in the traditional tarot, 8 of Pentacles is typically kind of mundane, but we see here that she's bringing inspiration to the mundane. So perhaps you are finding ways to spruce up your work life a little and make it not the same thing day to day, but you are finding new ways to make it fun, make it exciting, make it different so that you can stay engaged and stay with it. If it's something that you're passionate about, it could be something that brings up your passion levels a little bit with the work that you're doing. You have the King of Wands here at the focal point of your reading, and the King of Wands, it's almost like I feel like it's your time to shine. I just heard your time to shine, baby. So the King of Wands is very confident. He's very cool and collected, but he also, Spirit's saying describe it generally. So in the traditional tarot, as well as this one, the King of Wands has basically worked his way to the top. This might not be, I mean, you might be like a manager of some sort in a job, but if not, you're carrying yourself as a king would. You're carrying yourself as if you have a strong confidence in yourself. You are kind of like a cool cucumber with your creations. I feel like you're confident in whatever it is that you create, but the main thing with the King of Wands is that he's passionate and he's creative, and that he actually is naturally good looking too. So you don't have to be a man like the King of Wands here. You can, or even just a king, you can quite literally just be an attractive person, and that's the type of energy that you're taking on. The King of Wands does speak more on the masculine than the feminine side. So, and everybody holds masculine and feminine energy, but when the King of Wands shows up, that shows me that more masculine attributes are present. So this could be in the form of masculine is typically less on the receiving and creation end and more on the executing, the yang side of things. Wanting to put action to the visions and doing its best to manifest, create, do. So kind of like a main force of action this week. Your Astro Dice, I'm feeling kind of called to pull up the Astro Dice here. Neptune, Scorpio, and the 5th house. So there could be some passions here that are trying to come out to play, because 5th house is our hobbies, the fun that we have on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of like our fun house. It could be like our social circles, but not specifically referencing the people. It's just the fun that we have with them. So this is just our pleasure and our fun house. And there seems to be, perhaps, especially with Scorpio, I do feel like this just like a passion side. But when it's paired with Neptune, Neptune is very imaginative and creative, but it is also very illusionary. So it's almost like I'm getting two sides of this coin here. So Neptune and Scorpio together, you could have a lot of... I'm hearing like something about fan base. So, okay, I know what they're trying to say. I know this meaning. So, Neptune is a very imaginative planet. And then when paired with Scorpio, it could be just putting your passion to that imagination, especially when you have the King of Wands. This could actually be bringing to life a creative project that you have going on, or some type of fun side project. This could be like a side hustle of some sort that is your passion, but there's something here about fueling something passionate. But at the same time, on the other side of the coin, Neptune does rule illusions, because when things get so powerful and when there's like an undercurrent of fear, which is also what Scorpio rules. Scorpio's passion and fear, and Scorpio has that kind of pull a little bit. If there's usually the things that we are passionate about, because there are two sides of the same coin, the things that we are passionate about oftentimes are things that we are afraid that will go, like we're afraid that we won't achieve them, or afraid of pursuing them for some reason or another, because we really, really care about something. So of course the natural human instinct sometimes is to be fearful of the absence of that or losing that in some way. So there could be some fears popping up in terms of illusions. I say just flip that coin on its head and just you have like an equal, if not more, amount of passion for this venture. So I would say just use that imaginative. I say you're very experienced in the realm of your fears, so I feel like you really know how to shut them down. It's really just turning your attention towards something else, because you kind of have the Knight of Pentacles here as a little bit of like a teetering point from your fears. And the reason why I say that is because the Knight of Pentacles is focused on action. He might be a little slow, but he's still taking action to plant his seeds. So it doesn't really matter how long it's going to take. It's the act of moving that's going to get you out of this fear-locked headspace. And it's going to help you turn that, Neptune Scorpio energy from kind of like an illusionary fear mindset into something more of like a positive, upbeat type of like, passion, go-getter. Like, let's try to make this happen. Let's try to make my dreams a reality. Okay. But the Knight of Pentacles is slowly moving towards that. He's seeing opportunities, he's taking them, and he's planting his seeds. Maybe get the ball rolling a little bit faster. If there's something that you're afraid to do, step out of your comfort zone, because the Knight of Pentacles, like I said, it's the movement part that's important, but maybe you might feel called to pick up the pace. But like I said, it's always good to step out of your comfort zone. The part of the reason why I say pick up the pace a little bit is because you have Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles here. The Two of Pentacles is usually about a choice that we have to make, or it is about struggling with maintaining our balance. And the Nine of Pentacles is kind of like an easy walk through the garden, but also the kind of the negative side of the Knight of Pentacles is complacency. So being so comfortable that you're not really going anywhere, you're not really doing anything, and perhaps you have been stuck in a space of needing to make a choice for a long time. And perhaps this choice just needs to be made in order to step out of your comfort zone, like maybe like adding on an additional task, or if perhaps you're afraid to go to the next level of your business, this is probably your sign to, you know, move forward a little bit with that, or Spirit's call to at least instill the seed in your mind there of, hey, like, you know, have you thought about taking this to the next level and doing something else? Really take what resonates, and, you know, but what I'm saying is, like, this should already be something that you have been feeling, maybe an idea that's already crossed your mind. So if it's a choice you have to make, Spirit's saying, you know, step out of your comfort zone, and, you know, they're encouraging you to do it. And of course, the choice is up to you, but the opportunity is present. It could also be quite literally just balancing things and enjoying the way that your life is now. And again, there is nothing wrong with making the choice to stay stationary, but typically we find ourselves and I just heard, like, I quite literally just heard Spirit say the phrase fits of laughter. So perhaps you are not the type of person to want to sit in complacency. I say it's perfectly fine. Some people just want to sit there and vibe, and that's their life, and that's fine. Because I'm a Pisces moon and rising. I will sit there and vibe for long periods of time, and that's my jam. But oftentimes I find that we do like growth, we do like success, and we do like challenge. So after a while, that might kind of turn on its head a little bit and make you a little antsy if you're not feeling that already. Okay, so definitely consider that as the week moves by. You know, take it easy, use your best judgment. We're going to pull from Divine Circus to see what else we got going on for you this week. What do we have for our Scorpio buddies here? Oh, okay. So I'm going to pull the book on these cards because I don't know the characters here very well. We have Brilliant Virgin. In a world where we are bombarded daily with differing opinions and ideas, remaining true to you and your own point of view is nothing short of brilliant. Let go of confusion, distortion, comparison, and compromise. You do not need to compare yourself to another or measure up to anyone or anything else. What matters to you in your successful life journey is to be in touch with your own truths. You know what you feel, no matter what anyone else says or believes. Stay true to you. We need to be bold of heart and have a lot of faith where there is an idea within us yet to be manifested in the world. We have to trust in what we see in our hearts, even if sometimes the eyes in our heads see things rather differently. We have to trust that the inner vision, the hope, the dream within us is going to be strong enough to stand the rigors of birth and be able to come to life in the world. Sometimes we have to trust that we are enough, that we have goodness, value, and worth, and so are worth the time, effort, patience, and commitment required to transform our ideas into realities. The Oracle of the Brilliant Virgin brings you a message. Stay true to you and your course. Do not allow yourself to be swayed by another, no matter how well-meaning their intentions may be or how impressive their arguments may seem. You see, know, feel, believe in something that is good, pure, and true that needs to come to life in this world. It is meant to be original, so people may not get it straight away. It is meant to happen through you because you understand it in a way that others may not. This could be a choice to do with health, lifestyle, relationships, money, or work. It could also be a project, an idea, a creative expression, dream, or vision that you are growing in your heart. There are times when it's wise to open up to creative collaboration and to compromise for a group venture to move ahead. This is not one of those times. Don't be afraid. Some people believe that unless you compromise, success cannot happen. This is not true for you at this time, so do not water down the strength of your vision, your dream. You are meant to be birthing something unique into being. The world needs your originality. Pray for courage. Trust yourself. The affirmation for this card is, I am original and true to the purity of my heart. My dreams are uniquely my own. I stay true to my course until all I dream of comes to life in the world, with the universe helping me every step of the way. I will let that card, because that was a big mouthful, I'll let that card be a message in itself, and we will move on to see what your spirit animal cards are. else want to pop out here? Okay. So we have, first and foremost, to play off of that message, elephant spirit, learn from the past. So chances are you've already been through a lot of these fears, a lot of these similar types of changes before. And Spirit is saying, really put your foot down and quite literally be as hefty as an elephant here. I'm not saying be so stubborn that you won't move forward, but the elephants have amazing memory. What do they say? The elephants never forget. Or maybe it's the other way around, but the elephants hold a lot of wisdom. And elephants are like, I don't know, elephant is one of my spirit animals, so I actually feel very closely connected to this animal. This is like, you could be an old wise soul. You probably have past knowledge from other lifetimes that are able to assist you in this one. This is also indicative of experiences occurred within this lifetime that help you it's almost kind of wizened you up to where you kind of know the decision to make, or you know what choices you need to make. It's just a matter of looking at your past and going, do I really want to repeat these mistakes? And that alone is enough to, I feel like, get you moving in the right direction if you're unclear as to where to go. You have Sandpiper Spirit too, be playful. So I feel like this message has been kind of serious, but Spirit is kind of saying, like, I mean, anytime you want to work with higher vibrations, it is important to experience a more playful and lighthearted energy. So I feel like that's the best way to connect with our imagination, to connect with our intuition, to really dream what can be. And it's almost like, for whatever reason, I'm hearing the term school. I don't know if like some of you are pursuing school, but maybe you just need to be a little bit more playful in regards to that. That's kind of coming through. It's almost like maybe you're treating it too seriously, or maybe you're treating your goals a little bit too seriously. Some of you could be pursuing like something in education, or just dealing with school in general. Just some type of classes or schooling or learning something. But Spirit is saying maybe take a trip to the heart is what Spirit is saying. So a great way to be playful, a great way I love to engage with Sandpiper Spirit is finding things that I used to do in my past. So things that I used to do maybe when I was back in grade school that I stopped doing after a while because other priorities have taken the place and booted it out. So once upon a time, this girl used to write a lot of fan fiction. So it is like a very good thing, and a very like, I don't know, it has a special place in my heart because I've created a community around the stuff that I used to write. And I've been since very removed from it, but occasionally I do want to hop back in, and I do hop back in to either read or I write some and see what kinds of amazing things I can come up with. And I would like to actually commit to it more and rejoin some type of online community in that sense. But that in itself was enough to bring out my playful side and be like, oh my gosh, I'd love to see what I can take this world that's like a pre-existing world, and kind of play with the characters and see what else I can come up with. Like, what other things can I join? Can I do crazy crossovers or all this other stuff? So it's just a lot of fun to come up with those kinds of things for me. And for others, it could be just quite literally like, not even like the adult coloring books, but I would say maybe like, if you're somebody who used to love coloring, maybe if you pull out like one of those old Lisa Frank coloring books, or something like a Scooby-Doo, I don't know, whatever you used to color back in the day. And quite literally, the broad strokes sometimes is the meditative part. I do find that sometimes, depending on the mood that you're in, if you want to relax or if you want to have fun and be creative and playful, sometimes the adult coloring books are a little bit more frustrating than they are relaxing. But really just do whatever, don't put any restrictions on it. Just whatever your mind can come up with. Like, now is the time to embrace that creative and fun side. And this card wanted to come out, so I guess I'll talk about it. Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. So it's not a waste of time. Whatever you're pursuing, or whatever it is that you want to play in or dabble in, it's not a waste of time. So don't think that it's a waste of time because it's replenishing your spirit. It's where you're meant to go. It's where you're meant to play in for a little bit while you plot and plan your next steps. It's not even a placeholder. It's just, I don't know why filling up our soul and self-care and all of these other things have become like, oh, I don't like that mentality of like, oh, everything that you are doing has to be productive and making money. Like, I don't agree with that at all. Because it really just sucks the fun out of life. It really does when you're focused on such like a capitalist mindset, depending on your culture, depending on where you're from. But you need to give yourself more space to breathe. So even if that's relaxing some of your schedule, like alleviating some of the pressures in your schedule, if that's taking some things out of your schedule, I do see consistent hard effort, but that is something that is coming through for some of you, of perhaps maybe I need to take 1 or 2 things off of my to-do list just so I can breathe and relax and experience restful thinking and a restful heart. For whatever reason, like gaining that restful heart is going to help you achieve more restful thinking. Okay. Oh, you also have Fire Dragon, which is perfect. This is my main dragon, I'm telling you. So burns up, I'm going to tell you what he does. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. Y'all, I call on the Fire Dragon all the time to guard my space. Okay? And sometimes in my mind's eye, I'll just see a random dragon walking through. You might be like, what, dragons? That's crazy. On the other side? No way. There are so many other worlds and dimensions and soul consciousnesses out there, and dragon energy is just one of them. And there is this wisdom that I came with here on this earth that doesn't really 100% make sense, and I'll get back to the reading in a second, but essentially, and perhaps maybe you guys need to hear this, maybe that's why I'm wanting to bring it through and shine it through, but if enough people believe in something, I've always had this feeling, like before I went into my spiritual studies, I often wrote in a lot of my, I just talked about fan fiction, so this works perfectly. Oftentimes in a lot of the fan fiction that I used to write, my psychic things would start, because I've always been psychic and intuitive, but my actual full-on awakening was in 2021. But I found that oftentimes a lot of the things that I wrote in my fan fictions often came true. So either in like the series that I was writing about, or they came true within my own life. There were things that I was writing, very specific instances and scenarios that I actually predicted through that. And one of the things that I had written about was potentially having enough, like if there was enough thoughts or beliefs about something, it accumulated some type of energy and brought that creation into existence because enough people believed in it. And that's kind of what I wouldn't be surprised if connecting with dragons did. So, if enough people believed in dragons, whether they existed once upon a time or not, doesn't really matter. It's the fact that enough people believe in the essence of dragons, they imagine dragons, they imagine all these other things. And, those types of things do accumulate energy, and our thought energy puts forth these guys in spirit form. So I can't say where they've come from, because dragons have been around, like the idea of dragons have been around for centuries, but that is still centuries of sacred imagination and imaginative play and knowledge that they come with, and it's almost like that consciousness was created. I can't say it was created by humans because I don't know. Maybe it feels, a spirit's telling me it's like a visiting energy. That's like this is going to be like, it's got to be like a whole different video if I were to look into dragons, but definitely leave a comment below if you're interested in that. Maybe I'll post something like that someday, because I still have a lot to study myself. It's just spirit is talking through me with this stuff. But essentially, don't be put off just because you think that dragons didn't exist here on Earth, or there was a high chance that they didn't exist. We don't know, because we haven't been around long enough, and the Earth's been around for like millions of years. Okay, but there's still something here that's like human beings and their thoughts are so powerful. Imaginative play and thoughts are so powerful. The act of our creative endeavors is quite literally spirit speaking through us, and our soul consciousness all talking through it and creating through it. Which is probably why, that stream of consciousness as I'm writing and as spirit is talking to me, that's probably how I predicted all of this stuff, is because I'm like a natural psychic intuitive. So, and that's just the term, that's just the case with anybody who gets into a flow state in their writing, in their artistry, in basically any creative endeavor where they get in the zone. Even if it's like some type of logical or technical format, there's always spirit working through us, okay? So imagination and intuition, imagination, creativity, and play, and the spirit world are so closely intertwined. It is never a waste, because I always feel like playing in our imagination and creation is always like Spirit's telling me to take it a step further. I don't know how. So how do I do this? So how do I want to say this? It's almost like it's almost like joining forces with Spirit even more. And I think it just syncs us up with our intuition a lot more. So that was like a really long-winded explanation of that, Scorpio, but there you have it. That's what it is. So I'm going to roll the angel dice for you, but no. Let me talk about the fire dragon real quick. So it burns up the lower energies around you, quite literally calling on the fire dragon, or even just imagining a red dragon in your aura, breathing fire over you to kind of burn away the negative entities or just negative energies, even whether they're from external forces, whether you created them, doesn't really matter. It just burns it away and keeps you peaceful and comforted. And it doesn't mean that you won't struggle. It doesn't mean that you won't encounter challenges, but the fire breathing dragon, this fire dragon right here, quite literally just helps clear the way so that you can move forward with stronger legs and a higher head, basically. So definitely calling on that energy. Spirit is also working with you. If you don't vibe with the whole fire energy, fire dragon energy, that's fine. You still have spirit and spirit entities working with you to help do that, okay? But just call in that support, whatever it is that you call on. I just heard remember dragons. So if all else fails and if you feel like you're not getting the support you need, try it just once. You will be amazed. 6, 6, 7 for your angel numbers. So pulling angel numbers by Kyle Gray. 6, 6, 7. We'll see what we got going on here. You are now moving out of this challenging spell of despair and fear. Know that angels are guiding you. Have faith in yourself, your light, and your gifts. One more time. You are now moving out of You are now moving out of this challenging spell of despair and fear. Know that angels are guiding you. Have faith in yourself, your light, and your gifts. Oh, wow. There you go. There you have it. I just heard Spirit say, see. So, thank you, Scorpio. That was your reading. Thank you to you, your spirit entities, and my spirit entities, and all the angel guides involved for helping me channel this message. If this resonated with you in any way, go ahead and like and subscribe and all the things. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment down below if you so feel inclined. I do love to hear about you and how it resonated with you and all this other stuff. But that being said, Scorpio, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.